Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. So today I actually received an email from one of my supporters. They asked to remain anonymous so you know who you are. Anyway, this is what the email said. I have a caramel skin complexion that's light skin like Beyonce, and people that are dark skin and unambiguous would call me brown skin in large groups of people. But when we are by ourselves, they'll say I'm light skin. It's the same black women. I've never been called a brown skin by a black male before. Is this a Blackistan move? Let me start off by saying I didn't know what Blackistan meant. So when she asked me this question, I definitely had to do my research. So we'll go ahead and insert what Blackistan means according to the Urban Dictionary. It is a term used to describe the African American community and their degeneracy. They normally have a high population of mammies, pygmies, out-of-wedlock children, Glocktaviuses, and high rates of generational poverty, and they protect black men as a priority. So, what do you think? By the way, this is my husband, Michael.
I think just the fact that she's using Blackistan, I know it sounds bad, and I'm light skinned, but I'm getting like uppity vibes. Like I know it sounds bad, almost like I'm too good type stuff. Yes, we all know the stereotype amongst black, light skinned black people that we think we're better than somebody else. Me, I've had people say I come off that way, and then I've had people say I don't come off that way. But when you use words like that, it definitely makes you come off that way.
Blackistan move, and the fact that it refers to degeneracy in the African American community, that makes it automatically a word that I personally don't want to use. But I understand where she's coming from because she said she's caramel skin like Beyonce, and that's maybe like a shade or two like darker than us because we're like kind of super light skin. We're over here yellow, so I've never been called brown skin before. I've almost wanted to be, but I haven't, unfortunately. But I think that sometimes when it comes to a darker skin, like somebody who's very dark, I think they may try to say like you're not light skin because they want to make sure that you're not put on any type of pedestal. Because in the black community and in other communities, like even in India, the lighter the skin, and you know what, even in Asian
treatment.
The better the treatment, or at least how society views you as attractive. Like even in Asian cultures, they like literally put the white pasty makeup on so that they, like the geishas, you know what I'm saying? That's considered more beautiful.
And it's like, again, she does seem like she's coming off as if she's trying to, like she's, what should I say, better than, but also looking at what, I'm assuming it's her, but also the fact that they call her light skinned when they're alone, but brown skin when they're together. I hate to say it, I feel bad for her in a way because they're also putting a separation on there. So it's like maybe she's feeding into that, and maybe they're feeding her head, like giving her the big head, or maybe she's not even feeding into that. But like I said, me personally, the word Blackistan, I'm part of the black community. That kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm like, who the Gibbs fighting words?
Yeah, like I said, I personally, I'm 34 years old, never heard that word before in my life, so I had to look it up. And according to the Urban Dictionary, I don't like that definition either, but it's just one of those things where this is probably a very big topic amongst lighter skin, brown skin, and dark skin people. What's considered light skin, what's considered brown skin, what's considered dark skin. I think certain people, like you know what I'm saying, nobody's gonna be like, yeah, he's dark skin, and I don't personally think anyone would ever think that you're brown skin either. But if somebody was a little darker than you, for instance Beyonce, that's kind of like where you're in the middle, because depending on what side of the spectrum you're on, you're going to be considered either brown skin or light skin. So like maybe a person your shade would look at Beyonce and think she's not light skinned, and you would be like, yeah, she falls under what's brown, because you're looking at yourself like, well, if I'm light skinned and that person's darker than me, then obviously they're brown skinned. You know what I'm saying? So I think, but the fact that it's coming from darker skinned women in particular, I think it's a situation where maybe they don't want her to feel like she's above in any kind of way, or if they're in a group, and especially if men are around, they want to make sure that she's, I guess, not getting the big head. Like, don't think you're the baddest chick in the room or something. Not that light skin makes you more attractive. I personally don't feel like that, because I've seen some very beautiful dark skin people, like, period, from brown to dark, male or female. I've seen very gorgeous people. So I don't personally think that light is right or that it makes you more attractive, but I do know that that ideology exists. So I guess, that's my answer to your question. Like, yeah, that can happen with darker skinned people. I think it's just a way of, like I said, just making sure that you don't get like the big head, or keeping you grounded or something like that, so that you don't feel like you're superior than anybody. Light skin does not equal attractive. Light skin does not equal better by any stretch of the imagination.
I've had plenty of people in my life that went off of their experiences with other light skin complexion, light skinned people. And a lot of them, after they got to know me, they would be like, oh, you know what? All the light-skinned people I encountered were a-holes, but you're not like that. And I tell them the same thing I tell everybody else. The same way if I was talking to a Caucasian person, I'd be like, don't lump all black people in the same category. Don't lump all light-skinned people in the same category. Technically, there really shouldn't be a category, because we're all black, just like, I don't know if any of you have ever paid attention, but there's actually shades to white people. I've run across some really pasty white people that I think to myself, like, oh my gosh, you need to go out and get in the tan. And then I run into some that I'd be like, whoa, bro, you darker than me. Are you a white person?
Or even red. You know what I'm saying? I ran into white people that were pink and red. You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, we still categorize all of them as Caucasian, white, or whatnot. So this isn't an attack to you asking that question. It's definitely not an attack, because I don't know you personally to make a judgment of whether you think you're better than somebody or not. Going by the word Blackistan, which was used, it kind of, and after we looked it up, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and it gave me that impression. But I'm only going off words on the paper. So again, that's my own bias and experiences feed into that. So again, whoever wrote this, it's not an attack against you. It's just one of those things that if you do feel that some of these things are kind of hitting the mark, you might just want to take a step back and do some self-evaluation. And yes, other people are going to have their assumptions and their stereotypes, but it doesn't mean that you have to feed into that.
Definitely. And really quick, I just want to say that he's always messing with me, but it's okay. But anyway, I feel like these kind of situations only happen between women. Like, have you ever had a situation, because I know you have black friends, right? Like, obviously. So have any of your darker skinned black
I definitely have black friends. In fact, I got that one black friend. I'm just playing with you.
Stop, Mike. Okay, so like, and I'm sure you have friends of like different shades, right? I mean, you've got white friends, you've got black friends, dark skin. You have dark skin friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have any dark skin friends ever tried to make you feel some type of way about your light skin?
You know what? In all honesty, the funny thing is, the reason why we were able to get along, like me and a buddy of mine were able to get along so well, is because I guess we actually talked about each other like that. But because with guys are a bit different than women. I mean, we can say the most point blank things that will offend somebody, but because we're saying it in a joking manner and we mean it in all jokes, while some women tend to be, what's the word, nice, nasty. Like, for instance, my buddy is dark, so I used to be like, you old Wesley Snipes looking mug.
And what kind of stuff did he say to you?
He commented, well, what did he say? You know what, he would comment on my complexion, but he wouldn't compare me to anybody. He would just, once he called me up, what's that? It was a movie called not Casper the Ghost, but it was like some Powder. Was that his name? Powder?
Oh, snap. He did not call you Powder.
He was calling me Powder. And I got the bald hair right now, too.
I know.
Look too good.
I got to insert a picture.
But he was calling me Powder. And it's like, we would joke about it. And at the end of the day, we still laugh. And no big deal, because we didn't mean it in a way that can truly hurt the person's feelings. And that's why we were able to get along. While most of the women I've seen that argue, when they say those comments, They say it from a place that's intentionally meant to hurt the other person, and I think that's the difference that lie with how we do it. I mean, you saw me interacting with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is Native American, and me and him, we can joke and say the most racist stuff to the point where my niece was even like, "Uncle, that's so racist," and I'm like, hey, I don't want to say her name, but I'm like, you're the best of both worlds. Get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around them, so I definitely do feel like, you know, they joke with each other on a level that it wouldn't be safe between women, because we're a lot more sensitive and stuff like that. But like guys, they're like technically mean to each other. But with women, especially trying to say that, you know, you're not light skinned, it's like, what difference does it make anyway? If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. It doesn't matter what skin tone you have. It doesn't matter your grade of hair, eye color, nothing. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Aren't you supposed to do the hair thing now? You know, like, oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Let me stop. But yeah, this is like the first time in a while that my hair has been down, because I'm pretty sure you've seen my hair up in probably the last 10 videos or so, because I mean, just the whole new baby thing is a lot, okay? And so this is the first day that I've actually like let my hair be down and free, and feels good. Yeah. So yeah, you guys definitely leave us a comment and tell me what you think. And if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to email me. My email is visionsofnebula@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you